Okay, let's try a motovlog from Key West. Let's see, today's my second day in the Keys. I came down yesterday from the Tampa area, and I didn't come down I-75. I wanted to do less highway traveling and more back roadsy traveling, so I basically cut into the middle of the state and then took 27 down, and it was fantastic. I mean, that's the part of Florida that's rural, but not rural as in scary rural, but rural as in goes through farmland and this and that. And there was nobody on the road. I mean, other than, of course, people who lived there, but it was empty, and it was excellent. The speed limit was basically 65 or so. And so, you know, that meant you could easily go 70. And since there was nobody, since there was nobody on the road, it was incredibly rural, I decided to listen to music for the first time while riding. And I figured that this might happen before I left, so I made a playlist, and that basically made me conjure up my inner metalhead. You know, the one I had years ago, but hadn't really fulfilled recently. Come on, people. Anyway, so I put things like Quiet Riot and Iron Maiden and things like that onto the anticipated playlist I'd be using, and it was great. I really loved it. I also put a lot of Rush on there, and that was just amazing. I mean, when it got to like Spirit of the Radio, wow. I mean, good thing there was nobody around, because I was in full singing mode, and I don't sing well. And I know I don't sing well, but anyway, I didn't really care. There was no one around to hear me, so it was excellent. And the ride itself took about 8 hours because I took a few breaks. No, I had to stop for gas twice, and I also stopped for lunch once, including that was included in one of the gas stops, and I stopped for a Coke, etc. But it was a fun time. I had a blast. I got about 68 miles per gallon, and then what? Oh, and my bike was very comfortable too, extremely comfortable. I mean, sure, your ass will start to hurt after sitting in the same position for that many hours, but it wasn't like an uncomfortable. It's like, okay, let's go ahead and just get off for a few minutes and let everything shift back to where it should be, and continue. So I was very happy. What I'm not very happy about, though, is that today's cloudy. Okay, and even though it's not that cloudy right now, there have been a few sprinkles. I haven't gotten drenched or anything like that, but there have been a few sprinkles. So unfortunately, there's not much video of going over the bridges and the awesome color of the water and all that. Hopefully it will remain not too cloudy, or it will remain less cloudy, so I can get some really good footage going back. I'm not actually staying on Key West. I'm staying on Marathon Key, which is about an hour south into the Keys, but an hour north of Key West. So today will be my only day in Key West, and I absolutely love it here. This is my third time down here, and I still love it. I mean, I did all the Hemingway stuff the first time I visited, so I don't really do that now, but the houses down here are brilliantly colored. Painted, I should say. Painted in brilliant colors. How's that? And yeah, it's a really good atmosphere down here. You should see all the scooters. Yes, I know many people who, well, not many, because many don't, but some of the people who read my motovlog have no interest in scooters or anything like that, and that's fine. But my bike is one of the biggest I've seen down here, and it's only a 700. Everything else is like a 150 scooter and below. And people rent them because there's no public transportation here, and you know, they go out and they have fun on them, and that's that. Let's see, what else? My accommodation. I'm actually staying on a houseboat. It was advertised as a floating room, and so that's something different to me. And I said to myself, well, why not? And it turned out to be I'm on my own little houseboat in a marina with other people who are on their own little houseboat. So that's really cool. Let's see. We had a lot of rain last night. There were heavy showers, and as you can see from the road right here, happened down here too. So hopefully that'll hold off until this evening. You never know about the tropics at this time of the year due to the fact that it is hurricane season. But luckily a hurricane will not be here this weekend, at least not yet. Let's turn around and go back on the route we just came, because it's gorgeous there. Maybe see a little bit more scenery, then head downtown. Get some footage on there. I think the fondest memory I have about the Keys is my trip in 1998, because I was staying at the same hotel as some Australians, and we met and we ended up traveling together for a few months actually. I was on the road for the entire year of 1998, and we ended up, we met in Key West, and we went up the east coast of the USA, and we all went over to Europe together. And that was a blast, and we became the best of friends. And even after two of the Australians went home and I moved to Poland and then Germany, and one of the other Australians stayed in England for 9 years or so before moving back to Australia, we still keep in touch. And I think that's really cool. I mean, they were people that I spent a lot of time with, and that was a blast. And so one of the best memories I have in the Keys is being with them. You know, we went out and we did different things during the day, and then in the evenings we all met up for dinner and drinks, and you know, going out and doing whatever. So it was a really good time. I don't know if this motovlog will come out because it's very windy right here, but I hope it does, so you can see the colors and the water. And while the sun would be nice, you can't have everything. In the Caribbean right now. Key West, even though it's considered part of the mainland USA, it's actually in the Caribbean, and the water is ridiculously warm here, exactly how I like it, and the temperature never really gets too hot or gets too cold down here. So yeah, it's a good place to be. The weather, if you like warm weather like I do. And there is the airport, which we're going to turn into, so I can go ahead and head back towards Old Town. I've never actually flown into or out of this airport, but I assume I can get through it and turn around somehow. going on here, but I don't think there are all that many flights to Key West. Anyway, I'll pick this up when I get downtown, or in Old Town, I think they call it here. Or depending upon how long I've been talking right now, I might make that a second one.